All right, I'm here with Tyler Smith from SLEDSEND. Tyler and I have had the opportunity to spend some time on the 2025 model year Polaris Snowmobiles.
Yep.
And so we're just going to talk to you about some of the improvements and some of the new features and everything that we experienced and kind of talk about it now that SnowCheck is live.
Heck yeah.
So, Tyler, what do you want to talk about first?
I think we should kind of get into like our first impressions, right? We spent a full day riding a variety. I mean, so like we started off with, we got to see all the new mountain stuff, all the new trail stuff, and the new Titan stuff as well. But being that you and I are both mountain riders, we took off on the mountain sled. So we didn't get to ride any of the trail sleds or anything, but we got to see everything, and we'll touch on some of the points there. But I mean, what was like your first impression? We spent all day switching on different sleds.
Yep.
What was kind of like your first thoughts and impressions?
So 7 pounds lighter.
Right.
That's pretty big. That's a good weight loss there. So 7 pounds lighter. The new headlight. So they went away from the knife blade, and this one is more of like a wider. It kind of disperses the light more wide, I guess.
Yeah. Versus
going
forward.
And like the headlight itself is like what 2.5 pounds lighter or something like that. 2 pounds.
Is that all? I thought it might have been more.
Maybe. So it's pretty light.
Yeah.
But yeah, lightweight
headlight.
headlight.
Sure.
And then I like that it's kind of wider. That'll help with especially mountain riding. It's not so like trail focused, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, the new headlight. That was cool. The new a big one for me was the throttle situation.
Yeah.
So
that's big.
Everything about the throttle system is new. So everything from the cam up. So new throttle cable, new coating on the cable, new throttle block, and new flipper.
Yep.
And
it's 100% mechanical too, right? So there's no
throttle safety switch up in the block. Yeah. So that'll avoid like ice buildup and stuff like that we've seen issues of in the past. But so yeah, that's pretty sleek. I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. I think that should solve a lot of issues. And what we were talking about earlier is like I feel like this year Polaris made so many like I shouldn't say minor, but like minor and major fixes of like tweak different things. Like you were saying that they really listened to the feedback. Like
that's one thing that I thought was pretty cool. We all know the people that tend to blast Polaris on Facebook, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. But I mean, there were certain things that were. I wouldn't say a serious issue. I mean, some of the things were like the rail caps and stuff. We'll get into that a little bit too, but definitely more like I don't know inconveniences.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool, and I brought this up to them while we were there that they're listening to our feedback. And another cool thing is that all the Polaris guys that were there, they all ride too.
Yeah.
Right? So like they really pay attention to issues and stuff, and they spent a big focus on problem solving.
Yeah.
Is how I would word it.
Yeah, it's cool to see how much they listen to the community and the riders and like, okay, what do we need to fix? What do we need to change or make stronger or whatever? Yeah. So that new throttle system, like just kind of playing with it, it seems really solid, and I'm excited to try that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean my first overall impressions, like obviously they didn't release a new engine or anything, right? So we're all used to the power of the 9R and the boost and everything. So it was really cool to spend time out riding, paying attention to those other things. The throttle was a big one for me. Another big one on the boost and the 9R is the new lightweight running boards.
Yeah, that was cool.
Way less snow buildup. And at the back, like when you're doing wheelies and you put your feet back all the way at the back, how they changed that. Got like holes in it so the snow can get through and stuff. Because that's like where all the snow, stacks up a lot. So,
just looking at the running board over there, like how much thicker that is. It just seems like there's so much more space for snow to fall on the new ones.
Yeah.
And then the crevice in where the running board meets the tunnel, that little channel that snow can build up, and what one of those guys was saying is how, you know, snow can kind of just build off of that where it's stuck in that channel, and that channel is no longer. It's a 45-degree slope from the tunnel to like the holes in the running board, so no chance for snow to like build up there, or way less of a chance, you know. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously the update with the seat too.
Yeah, new lightweight seat.
For the mountain stuff, I mean, you're hopping back and forth constantly, all the time, switching sides and whatnot, so it's just less, I don't know, less drag or less obstacle for you to hit when you're swinging your legs back and forth.
Lighter weight and a lot shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, the design and the mold and stuff is still the same. It's just not as tall.
Yep.
Which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I feel.
And even sitting on, like I sat on it for a little bit, it actually wasn't that uncomfortable. Like I was expecting it being so thin, it maybe wasn't as comfortable as that one, but I didn't notice a difference in comfort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we got the headlight, 7 pounds lighter overall, the lightweight headlight, lightweight running boards on the 9R and the Boost, the new throttle system, complete throttle system, lightweight seat. There was even a couple things like new drop brackets for the skid, new suspension pads.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, another cool thing too is the fix for the rail tips.
Yep.
Right, so they have a whole new design for the rail caps and it's the anti-stab.
Yep.
Right. Because they were talking like, I can't remember what he was saying, what Nels was saying about how it's all bolted together for like changing the caps, like because they're a wear item, right? So like you're supposed to change the rail caps when you change your high facts too.
Yep.
But there was something different on how that was put together that was pretty interesting as well. So so it's good to have a solve for for that. Sure. I think another really big thing to touch on is the clutch updates too, because you know we've both seen a lot of primary spring issues and some clutch issues and stuff. I mean, you just broke a primary spring yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, yesterday.
At the time of filming
this.
Yep. So they so the Spider is no longer billet; it's actually forged. Yeah. Which is, to my understanding, for the application of what is going on there, having it forged is actually better than the billet. Yeah. And then I think that they were
same Spider design. It's just made
same,
it's the same design. But so that's cool.
Yeah. And what else? And then it sounds like there's a little bit more room where your primary spring rests against. Yeah.
Less likely to bind up that spring.
Yep. 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 And then I think we're pretty sure. Don't blast us in the comments, but pretty sure it's a new bolt too.
Yeah, I think
in the primary.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
The torque specs are still the same.
Yep.
But I think it's a new bolt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
But that's cool.
Because, definitely some updates to the clutching.
Yeah, I mean, which is cool because, you know, not to hound on Polaris or anything, but there's definitely, I mean, through social and stuff, we've seen some issues with that, with the new P22 and stuff. So it's really cool to see the advancement in that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I feel like 25, they took care of a lot of issues. Like, I mean, just minor things, you know, that are now like solid.
Minor things, but they all hold a substantial amount of, you know, benefit for upgrading them.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, another cool thing, which it's funny because I've had this conversation like with Shay. I had it with you when we were on our way up there. That we were talking about how it would be cool to, on your 7S, right? You've got your maps. It would be cool to be able to see like your RPM. I know up in the left-hand corner you can see your temperature and stuff, but it's kind of small.
It's really small. Yeah.
It would be cool to be able to see those, but still see your map. And so these new sleds had that update on there, and I talked to Nels about it, and he was like, yeah, just go to the Polaris website, and you can download the new update for that. So, and you can, to my understanding, I played with it a little bit, you can go into your settings and then
map gauges,
yeah. And you can custom pick like which ones, elevation, engine temp, like what your options, whatever you want to see on the screen with the, so then you don't have to switch back and forth from different
map
from your gauge.
or gauges.
Right,
it's
you
like
can see everything.
Yeah, you can still see your map, but then like it's in each corner. Yeah, I noticed like the bottom 2 corners you could have like RPM bigger so you can see it, but you can still see your map.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Which was nice, like even for example for today, because like we took off here locally. And the trail was super frozen up this morning. And
spring snow, baby.
So
spring snow in February.
We had some overheating issues, right? And so, and we were just on the trail, and you were a ways ahead of me, so I wasn't necessarily worried about being lost. But I found myself like I really need to pay attention to my temperature, so I'd have to switch to my gauges.
Yeah.
And then we'd kind of get off the trail and stuff, and then I'd switch back to the maps. Not that you and I got too separated from each other, but you know you're switching back and forth, and so it's. In my opinion, I think it's really crucial to be able to see both my location, your location, and like the temp. It's just nice to be able to see that all in one. Yeah,
that's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna set mine up map and then RPM and engine temp.
Yeah,
I think is how I'll have mine.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
Yep. Let's see, what else do we have? Obviously new colorways.
Yeah, there were some
pretty sick,
pretty cool colors.
So you got to ride. What was the? It was like dark cherry and orange.
That was the 9R I was on.
Yeah, that was the 9. Is that what it's called? Because at the time of recording this, they haven't released everything that you guys have just seen, so we don't know necessarily.
We're just going off of memory
for the colors and stuff. But
something cherry.
It was. I think it was a dark cherry. Is what Nels was saying.
That was a really cool like purplish red color. Yeah, pretty really classy looking.
Yeah.
And then the boost that I was on earlier was like a white and teal, or it was like a white and black.
I think don't they call it radiant green?
Yeah.
Is it that teal?
Yeah, that teal. Green? Yep. I think that's the pretty close to the same color, if not the same color as the 23, but it's mixed.
24s.
Or 24s. Yeah. Mixed in with like black and white. It almost looked like a zebra type look, but then with the radiant green.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Well, I like the radiant green because it kind of like sparkles. Yeah. But the one that you're mentioning and I wrote too, it's got a lot of the white, but the white has that sparkle too.
Yeah. Which was sick. Did have a lot of metallic. Yeah.
That looked really
And then the cherry on the 9R was that a matte finish?
Yes.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yes, it was.
And then it had orange accents, but one of the engineers told me that you can get it with black.
Like the whole tunnel.
Yeah, black tunnel and everything, so you don't have to have the orange in there.
Yeah.
But the orange is cool. Yeah. Orange adds some pop.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure what color I'm gonna get yet.
Yeah, we'll get into what we're gonna tell you guys what we're gonna snow check here at the end. Another big update is the lighter and more durable drive shaft. It's all steel.
Yep, all steel. So lighter, stronger. Yep, that's cool. Yep. It's cool how they can make the sled lighter and then still like maintain strength, if not add strength.
They're not sacrificing anything.
Yeah, by using different materials and whatnot.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Another small thing, no need to elaborate on, but new toggle on the 7S display.
Yeah. Yep. New little. It's like littler.
Losing them and knocking them off all the time. Yeah, it's that should be a lot more durable.
Yeah. Instead of an Xbox controller analog stick, it's like it's much smaller.
Yeah. Yep.
Stronger.
Yep. I think that was about it for the mountain stuff. Two big things. Obviously, Justin and I don't really ride trail sleds, so we're aware of things, but we obviously don't spend every day riding trail sleds. But there was two things that were pretty big for the trail stuff that we'll touch on. Do you want to touch on the suspension, and then I'll touch on the engine?
So the dynamic suspension.
Fox.
So they have like the way they were describing it is it's like the shocks. All four shocks have like sensors in them. And then there's like a essentially like a brain where your sled, it'll tell that brain, like if you start to lean to the left, like say you're coming around a corner and you start to lean to the left and maybe turn a little bit, it uses all those sensors to know that you're about to take a turn. So it like adjusts the suspension for you
in real time.
In real time, like almost ahead of the turn.
Yeah. So
then you're like prepared to like take sharp turns and everything. And I mean, I'm not a trail riding expert, but that sounded really cool. How it like super advanced.
I'm pretty sure they have that in the Razors, don't they?
I think so.
The same.
Yeah.
Same type of setup.
And then so it'll capture like if your sled goes airborne. You know, it can sense that, so then it can prepare you for the landing and like all kinds of things like that. That was
a lot of technology.
Yeah,
working
way over my head.
Yeah.
And then the other thing.
The other thing for the trail sleds is now you guys can get obviously if you watch the premiere is 9R engine
in the trail sleds.
Trail sleds.
Yeah.
Which is super sick. Same exact engine as the 9R in the mountain stuff. It's still the same exact setup, but you guys can now get the 9R in the trail.
Yeah, that's big for the trail guys. That'd be cool.
Yep. Actually, we did forget one thing regarding mountain is the SP.
Oh yeah. So new like entry level model trail sled with a low
mountain sled.
Oh yeah, mountain sled with a pretty low entry. Like it's like I shouldn't say like beginner's sled, but I guess just
kind of.
Yeah, it could be.
It could fit that also.
Yeah. It's just like a lower price point kind of entry level sled. You know, basic shocks, not the slash tunnel, but you can get it in a 650 or an 850.
Yep.
So that model's called the SP.
Yep. And to my understanding, it's a perfect mix between a pro and a chaos.
Yeah,
right.
That's kind of what he said. Yeah. Yep. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then so
that was a big like Nels was saying that was a big gap in their lineup.
Yeah,
to be
a
able
gap
to fit,
filler. Yep.
To be able to fit that. Then also
utility stuff.
Yeah, the Titan is now in the Matrix.
Yep.
Right.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to haul your firewood to wherever you're going in Alaska,
your work sled.
Utility stuff.
Yeah, with the new, the best backup skis that they've ever created on those as well.
Yeah, new skis. Yeah, that's what he said, the best backing up abilities that they've ever made in a ski, which is important for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was cool to see the Titan from the front. Like, it's a Matrix. It looks like a Matrix, but it's like so wide. Like, it looks like a wide body kit Matrix.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. So, a bunch of updates for those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much like touches on our bullet points of updates and stuff. But yeah, so I'll just kind of circle back and say that, overall first impressions, like I was just super stoked to be able to see what they came out with. Like I was pleasantly surprised with, because there was a lot of talk of like 9R boost and, how people get to talking and rumors and stuff on social and whatnot. I was just, when they had us all circle around and they started going through all these things, it was just like so many updates and upgrades.
One thing after another.
Yeah, I was really like stoked to see how many changes were made that were super beneficial.
Yeah, definitely a lot of upgrades, and even like riding the sleds, it felt good.
Yeah.
Like the throttle system, felt like more like precise almost. Like the way that the cable comes out, less clunky, I guess.
Yeah.
It just felt really good.
Yeah.
And then the sled overall, 7 pounds lighter. Yeah. Like take a 7-pound weight, and I mean that's a lot of weight. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like for a snowmobile, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, I mean what did he say? Like a 9R 155 was 4.
Yeah, I can't remember the name exactly, but when he said it, I was like
417 or something. I think was the weight.
I don't know if it was that low.
No,
I can't remember, but it was. Yeah,
I'm sure you'll tell us.
Yeah.
But yeah, which I mean, obviously, as mountain guys, right? Like riding at high elevation, maneuvering a sled, like it takes a lot out of you throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
And so 1 pound, 7 pounds, whatever it is, like it makes over the course of an entire day, makes a big difference.
Yeah, For sure.
On your endurance and overall. Yeah. So, well, cool. Was there any other items to touch on?
I don't think so. I think we could just kind of bullet points, go over all the new stuff for mountains, since we're mountain guys, just to kind of recap. So, new throttle system, new lightweight seat, lightweight running boards, lightweight headlight, clutch updates, drop brackets, suspension pads,
rail caps,
7S updates. Yeah. Quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's right.
Like
we had to sit down and write it out because there were so many things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Well, I think that kind of goes right into the ending of this. Is the big question is what are you gonna snow check?
Dude, I am so sold on the boost. I love the turbos. I love building them up and stuff. And so, third year in a row, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to do a Chaos 155 boost. And this year I did the 325. That's the only really big change I made from last year. And I like the track. I think I'll do the 325 again.
Will you? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably the same
exact
thing as Reaper, man. Just What about you?
So this is my first year on a boost, and I'm in love.
Yeah. It's a disease, man.
I'm not going back. So, honestly, not to copycat you, but I mean that is like
same thing.
The most ideal sled. The only difference is I'm going to do what I did with the 24, and I'm going to run the 275.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because obviously you're here in Idaho and you have way more close access to awesome riding zones, and where I'm at in Oregon, like the 275 for the majority of my riding, it just makes more sense for the 275 for me.
Yeah.
I really, really like the 325, but like I've said, like in previous videos or on the podcast and stuff, there's just the amount of times that I'm in epic blower snow, unfortunately, is is way less than I'm just in average conditions.
Yeah.
And so for me, the 275 it just makes more sense.
That makes sense. It's more of a general, I guess, works with a way more wide variety of snow, and I guess the 325 does too, but obviously the 325 is built for deep snow.
More purpose, yeah.
And when you're on those deep days with the 325, look out, man. It's so sick, but that makes sense for sure.
So then the final piece to that is, and maybe you want to keep it a secret, and that's fine too, but what are you thinking on colors?
I'm still kind of undecided, honestly.
Yeah.
It's got to be in between the white and black and radiant green, or
That's
the one
such
with
a good looking sled,
or the one with the cherry.
Yeah.
But Reaper is like a chili pepper red, which is kind of close to the cherry, so I probably want to switch it up. So I'll either probably snow check an all black one, so I can kind of get creative with the wrap, or do the white and black and radiant green. Probably one of those two. Do you have a color in mind?
Well, so I mean, my favorite color is black.
Yeah, you're like all black and white, no color at all.
So I mean, that's always the safest route. But, and again, not to copycat you, but if I was going to decide to have a little bit of color, I would go with that radiant green, the white, and the black.
Oh, you would?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say cherry.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, it looks really good, but that's, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
There'll still be enough black and white for you.
Yeah. It just, I mean, you and I both, we put a lot of time and effort into our wrap, and, we like to match. We're those people that like to match our gear setup and stuff, too, so, and who knows? I mean, there might be some influence from, some new climb pieces or something and colors that, so I don't know, but I feel that an all black sled gives me a clean slate for whatever direction of color I do want to decide to go.
For sure.
So that's probably the route that I'll go. Is all
that's
black.
That's what I did with Reaper and Neo.
Yeah.
as how colorful that sled was. It started with all black.
All black.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Was there anything else to touch on before we close it out?
I guess so. By the time this video launches, Snow Check will be live.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen Polaris's reveal video, go watch that, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can snow check your snowmobile or look at the options. And then so make sure you go follow Tyler and SLEDSEND. So if you're unfamiliar with Tyler, he's the podcast host for the SLEDSEND Podcast, which is, in my opinion, the greatest snowmobile podcast out there. It's very high quality and very consistent, and it's really entertaining to listen to, especially if you're a snowmobiler.
Yep.
And so, you guys bring in a lot of interesting guests from all aspects of snowmobiling.
Yep.
So I'll drop the links to the SLEDSEND Podcast YouTube channel and all that stuff in the description too. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them.
Yep.
And let us know what you guys are thinking about snow checking.
Yeah.
In the comments as well.
Yeah, tell us. We want to know what you guys are going to snow check for this season.
Yeah.
This upcoming season. But yeah.
Other than that, let's hope that this spring snow goes away. And I think there's a storm coming,
Yeah,
so we should be all right.
Yeah, it's probably time to go ride now. Huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Heck yeah. Well, cool. Justin, I appreciate it, dude. It was good sitting down and shooting the video.
Yeah. It's been fun riding with you the last few days.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, it was a killer time.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the next one, guys.
See you guys.